we will go ahead and have our pledge and our prayer. Channel, would you please lead us in our pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for our prayer, please.
Let's pray. Father God, I thank you so much for your wisdom and guidance that you are giving and have been giving to the people in this room, as well as the people that they represent. God, we're just so grateful for the way that you've led our community and that you're going to continue to lead our community through this time of crisis, through what feels like multiple layers of crisis. And God, I just thank you so much for that peace and guidance that only you can give and bring during no matter what kind of time. And I just pray over the safety of our citizens and public officials and city workers and all the different people that make up our community. God, we pray over those that are sick, that are recovering, that are still in need of recovery. God, that you would heal them, that you would touch them. God, I pray again over the people in this room and the ones that they represent, God, that you would continue to bless them and guide them, encourage them, strengthen them. God, that they would know that their community is behind them, that they wouldn't allow the few squeaky voices to frustrate and dissuade or discourage. That they could feel your encouragement, your strengthening, and your leadership. It's in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Call to order our Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting of June 16th. Second item on the agenda is public comment, announcements. Do we have anything that was submitted? Jesse, do you have anything? Okay. Item number 3 is the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes Public Works Authority meeting of June 2nd. I'll entertain a motion in a second.
Motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion? Okay, again, roll call vote. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Bothroyd?
Aye.
Councilman Channel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Paget?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Case?
Aye.
Councilman Long?
Aye.
Mayor Gentling? Aye. Unanimous to accept consent agenda and the minutes of June 2nd. Item number 4, discussion, possible action to approve amendment number 1 to the wastewater treatment agreement from Myers Engineering for almost $20,000. Leroy, are you carrying that?
I can do the initial presentation.
Okay.
If you look at your staff report or cover letter, back in 2016 when the agreement was signed with Myers Engineering to do the engineering for the wastewater treatment plant, that agreement was for $970,000 that included everything through the resident inspection once it got under construction. And to date, we've gone far enough into design. $566,219 have been paid to them. The environmental information document, if we're going to use federal funding or funds from the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, you've got to do the environmental work. That work I tried to use, put in the cover letter an excerpt from the original contract that was not included. I would like to make sure you're aware that this is the second time that we've done the environmental information document. It's my understanding the first time, even though it wasn't in their contract, Myers and them at those hours in their contract rather than charge the Schechter. But this is the second time they're having to do that work because we've stopped and started this project so many times. So I think it's only fair it wasn't in our contract. It's the second time they're doing it. We ought to approve this to pay them for doing this work. Our target is to bring this to you. This project, we've got a couple of meetings scheduled with the city council on July 21st. We will have a city council workshop on the wastewater treatment plant. And then October 20th, we hope to bring it back to city council to authorize bids and the borrowing of funds. Our financial advisors has come up with a financing plan, and that will be part of the presentation on July 21. And we hope to have that all worked out in an order by October, with the ideal that we would open bids in November of 2020 and start construction in February of next year. And it's an 18 to 24 month construction period. Tenny's here, Bill from Myers Engineering's here. We'd be glad to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions from council?
You've already done this once, you did it a second time, is that correct?
I'm sorry, sir, what did you say?
Jim, you've already done this once and you're getting ready to do it a second time. First time you did it for nothing and now you're getting ready to do it again and you want to get paid for it at least one of these 2 times, right?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll do roll call vote. Councilman Bothroyd.
Aye.
Councilman Channel.
Aye.
Councilwoman Paget.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Case.
Aye.
Councilman Long.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Mayor Gatling, aye. Unanimous approval then to approve the $19,975 $1,000 for the wastewater treatment plant agreement with Myers Engineering. With that, we are adjourned from our Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting. I call to order our city council meeting of June 16th. Consent agenda items A, B, and C. A is the approval of the minutes of our council meeting of June 2nd. B is the approval of the agreement with the between the city of Guthrie and the Sodex operations concerning the Highland Hall facility, the operation with the Logan County Aging Services. And C is the approved assignment of the lease for hangar space number 20D to JM Back Holdings, Latham Investment Properties. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the consent items? Hearing none, we'll move for a vote. Councilman Channel.
Aye.
Councilwoman Paget.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Case.
Aye.
Councilman Long.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Bothroyd.
Aye.
Mayor Gatling, aye. Unanimous approval then on consent agenda items A, B, and C. Item number 3, discussion and possible action to award bid number 2020-4 to Inman Excavation for Cottonwood Creek raw water intake repair. Who's taking that? Kenny, are you covering that? Or
start it and then answer questions. Cottonwood Creek raw water intake. Of course, we have the 2 lakes, and then we get water from Cottonwood Creek. And the point that we're set up to draw water out of Cottonwood Creek, there is stabilization on both of those banks to protect that point so that it doesn't get eroded. Back in May of last year, when the floods occurred, there was some erosion and damage to that. And so this is eligible for FEMA and been approved. So it will be 75% paid for by the federal, 12.5% paid for by the state emergency management office, and 12.5% by the city of Guthrie. We opened bids, and the low bid was Inman Excavation for $55,099.41. In there was 120 tons of riprap for the project. We have 120 tons of riprap material in stock, and we would like to approve the contract with the low bidder Inman at $55,099.41. At the same time, do a deductive change order, taking out the riprap, so that would reduce the contract $10,350 to $44,749.41. With engineering, the total is $61,809.41. And then federal share would be just over $46,000, and the local share and the state share would be just a little over $7,500 each.
Move to approve.
Second,
wait.
change orders don't go down. They always go up. So second it.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion?
So, on the 120 tons of riprap, are we gonna, and Bill, you would probably, this is a low water dam we're talking about here, right?
It's not a dam, it's riprap on the two
I
sides
get
of the
it, but
channel.
it's the low water, that's what we originally called it,
We've always
but
called it,
I
yeah.
get what it is. I know right where it's at. And so, but do we see if in the foreseeable future where we're gonna need to add more riprap to this thing? Because right now, if we got a FEMA deal paying a big portion of this, we may wanna look at that.
Save our riprap, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Save what
that's
we got?
exactly what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead and pay them out? I see what you're saying.
Part of the reason we're pulling the 120 tons of riprap, it's 8 loads of riprap. We have that in stock. We have tons and tons of it in stock, and we're looking at being able to pull the 120 tons of riprap, saving us the $10,350. That money will still be there to assist with other projects down the road, our portion of the projects down the road.
With that dam, or with that area?
With other projects where we're paying the shares, our local share of that 9,705. We've got multiple projects down there that money, that saving will go towards to be able to help us out.
And I think Brian asked a good question. If we don't do the change order and issue the contract in the full amount to Inman, $55,099, the $10,000 we're taking out, the federal FEMA will pay 75%, correct?
Yes.
So they'll pay roughly $7,500 of that $10,000.
So we're saving about
And-
$1,300.
And we'll pay 1,200 at the end of the day.
And the state would pay 12.5%. So our share of that's only $1,000. So for $1,000, we could save our 12 loads of riprap for another project, and it
Yes,
only
sir.
cost us $1,000 to pay the contractor to install it.
That's my point, exactly.
Very good point.
Are we better off saving the riffraff for other projects?
Further
Well, I
use.
think
Well, it's
where
only a
Brian-
grand,
Where
it's
Brian was headed.
$1,000.
Or simply for upkeep of this project.
$1,000 of our own money, having a contractor do it, and save our riprap for a future project.
I'll amend my motion. I'll amend my motion to not accept or not do the amendment to this and just do the original contract. So moved.
Second.
Does that make,
Don-
does
Don-
that make
Don
Don's
has-
got to do a
Sure.
second.
Don has to
Bill, does
accept
that
that.
make sense?
I'm good with it.
Don, are you accepting it?
Yeah.
The new motion?
The first
Okay.
change order, and we don't get to keep.
Right.
So we will be awarding the full contract to Inman for $55,099.41.
If we approve it. But,
That's what I'm saying is the action on the
That's
table.
what the
right,
motion is.
that's what's on the table. That's what, so this happened, is there a design issue that we lost that riffraff, or that it wasn't included in the original design of the low water dam?
It's called a high flood.
It all happened during the flood that happened on May 20th. We lost some of the riprap whenever that flooded, and then the cleanup, the rest of this cost is the removing the sediment that's washed up in there and settled on the road that comes down to the actual
So
clean
are we
out.
gonna are we gonna look at this same kind of thing every time we have a flood in the Cottonwood?
That could be a possibility. I mean,
I guess that's why we have an inventory of riffraff, huh?
120 tons of riprap is a minor amount of riprap on that site out there.
Okay.
Bill, do you recall the actual amount that was placed?
The engineer guaranteed it.
And for the most part, all the riprap that was put in place out there done its job by collecting the sediment that did come up, preventing the erosion.
Clearing the water.
And the embankments around our intake did not wash out.
So that was good.
Performed its job.
Obviously, it did its job.
Otherwise, that weir that we draw out of may not be there today.
Okay.
Yeah, we received no damage to the structure itself. It's more of a cleanup, so that we can gain access back down to it. Currently, we cannot even get access down to the actual, if we had to clean out the creek, we couldn't make access down to it currently.
But either Tenny's original recommendation for us to provide riprap, or whether we save that riprap, and which is only costing $1,000 basically out of our pocket to pay for the contractor to do it, they're both win-wins.
Yeah, yeah,
So
but seriously,
you
they
can do
are.
it either way.
Okay.
Well then, Kenny, what do you want to do?
It's y'all's decision.
You run the department, so what would you like us to do?
And FEMA won't have a problem with the 55, will they?
No,
We need to
FEMA won't
pay
have
the
the,
grant, Jim, is what we need to do, and save the riprap.
That makes sense to me.
That's.
Okay, well,
that's a
right now, we
sensible
have
thing.
an amended motion that does just that. Goes ahead and pays excavation approximately $55,000 without the deduct. Does everybody understand what we're voting on? Okay? It's not the 44,
Going
it's the
55,000,
55.
56,000.
We have a motion, amended motion, and the second was approved for that. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll do roll call vote. Councilman Channel.
Aye.
Councilwoman Paget.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Case.
Aye.
Councilman Long.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Bothroyd.
Aye.
Mayor Gentling. Aye. Unanimous approval then on the amended to go ahead with the full amount of approximately $55,000 to Inman Excavation.
And that may free up Tenny's crew to do another project later in June.
Okay.
Just what he needs.
Yeah.
That's what he needed, was another project.
Sorry, Tenny.
Okay, item number 4, discussion possible action to award bid number 2020-5, mineral well sidewalk, gazebo, flooring, and footings, with 3 different options on the table. Tenny, are you leading this charge?
so we went back out for bid on this project. There was 4 contractors who submitted bids for the Mineral Wells Park sidewalk and gazebo floor footings. Summary of the bids, TJ Campbell presented a bid at $104,608. C4L Construction from Edmond presented one, $181,668. Rudy Construction from Guthrie presented a bid, $187,760, and then Luckenbill Development from Oklahoma City presented a bid at $197,720. After reviewing all the bids, TJ Campbell Construction is apparently the low bidder for the project, but however, his bid did not come in order. He had left out the color and the stamping for the concrete. That's why there was such a difference with that bid. The city, we've presented 3 options to move forward with to complete this project. Option 1 would be award the contract to the next responsive bidder in the amount of $181,668 to C4L Construction out of Edmond, Oklahoma. Option 2 would be reject all the bids and authorize the city staff to purchase approximately $40,000 worth of material
Do it yourself.
to do it ourselves. Or option 3 would be reject all the bids and re-advertise and go back out for bid again.
Do you think you guys talk about doing it yourselves?
I have full I think I feel full confidence that my crews could do it. Are we busy? I think everybody in this room knows that we have a full plate.
Right. But you're looking at saving 140 grand. That's a big chunk of cash.
I believe my recommendation tonight would be let us move forward, letting city staff move forward with the project. And if I see 2 weeks from now that I'm not making the progress or not going to be able to meet an end date, then we come back to council and it's just, we're not making the progress that's needed to get to that end date, and then go out for bid with the remaining quantities.
So you're wanting us to reject and let the city staff do it?
No, he's wanting us to pick number 2, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, reject.
Yeah, reject and let city staff, just so we can simply get something moving currently. Whether,
That would also include authorizing us to spend up to $40,000 for the materials we would need for the project.
Right.
Can you hire some people temporarily to help you out?
I can't fill the 11 positions I have vacant right now. I've set in probably,
I meant call a staffing agency that does temporary work.
we've went through a temp service.
Did you?
About 3 months ago, we tried the temp service.
Darn.
We've interviewed probably 11 different people here in the last 2 days. We brought 3 on board. They went to Verdell's department as seasonal employees.
But you guys know how to stamp the concrete with this new stamper anyway, right?
We have the capabilities of doing the standard brick pattern. In my quote, the wood grain stamp pattern, we've looked it up. It's roughly $500 is what we'd have to purchase to do the wood
Where's the wood?
planking pattern that goes in the gazebos.
Yeah.
My first steps would be trying to get the sidewalk in adjacent to the parking so that we're no longer holding up Atlas paving. We've got a contractor that's been held up with this project that's waiting to put asphalt down in the parking. What we're seeing from that also is the edge where we went in and we've done the work and cut the soil down and prepared it for him. Now cars are still coming in there, and now we're starting to break off the edge of our road. We're really needing to get asphalt put in those areas. Step one's gonna be getting the sidewalk put in so he can get the asphalt in. That's why I'm saying if we allow us to make some action, get started, we get in there, we get at least that sidewalk portion done, and if I'm seeing by then that we're not able to move at a rate that's needed to get to a completion date, we come back to you guys and we go out for bid, and hopefully for the remaining quantity of material that's needed, we can get in a contractor in here and get it completed.
So I say, I'll address ladies and gentlemen on this deal, because originally when we approved this and talked about this originally, it's been several years now, we talked about doing in-kind. I get that there's a lot of in-kind that's not gonna be done, but I have full faith and confidence in Tenny and his crew to pull this particular in-kind off, and so I make a motion to approve number 2.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. Further discussion. You know, Tenny,
That's including coloring it, right?
That's including the color, yes, sir.
That'd be in the material, I guess, huh?
Are you sure you got time for this?
You
He's
know,
got time, Jim.
when you're down positions, I mean, I know that you are, everybody in this room and those watching know that you are the ultimate team player for this city. And that you do above and beyond to make things happen at the most economical investment for the citizens of our city. I just don't want you to set up for failure.
I don't either.
I guess is the clearest I can be. I don't run your crew. I don't know anything about it. I know that they are all hard workers. I just want to make sure that you're not biting off more than what you can chew.
Well, I think with what I said, as far as I'm going to come back to you guys before I set myself up for failure. if I see that at a point that I'm not going to make progress and get to a completion date, I'm going to come back to you guys and say, we're going to have to reach out to a contractor to move forward with this thing, and if we're still going to try to complete it at a completion date.
And there's no disgrace in that either.
No, it's not, that's not a failure. That is not a failure.
My deal is if we award it the way we're looking at doing with number 2, that allows us to get started and get something moving at this time.
Yep.
Hopefully, we can get some sidewalk in place that we then can get some asphalt put down on the parking. By then, I'm gonna know
All right.
some results.
You got a second on that?
And if he can pull it all off, it saves 140 grand, which is a lot.
And we, at that point, have some of the quantities down in place, and it's gonna reduce the bids if we do have to go out for bid in the future.
Okay, further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor right now to move with option number 2. Roll call vote. Councilwoman Paget.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Case.
Aye.
Councilman Long.
Aye.
Councilman Taylor.
Aye.
Councilman Bothroyd.
Aye.
Councilman Channel.
Aye.
Mayor Gentling, aye. Unanimous approval then to move forward with option number 2. Thank you, Tenny, and your staff. Item number 5, requests and comments. I notice we don't have one from the city manager here, but,
Can't do it if it's not on the agenda.
okay.
That's next time.
All right. Request comments from the members of the city council. Councilman Channel.
Other than, I don't know if y'all been watching the spikes in the cases every day, 220 some, I think, overnight from yesterday till today. All you haters, you might get ready. This mask may be a thing we're going to be talking about. And now there's even articles saying that may be the thing to help with the curve, some of them that are seeing after the fact. So I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but, you know, it's not over. You know, don't act like it is.
Clearly. Councilman Taylor.
Thank you, staff. Appreciate your hard work, especially Tenny. I don't know how you're doing it. If you're down 11 guys, I don't know how you're getting this done, but thank you very much for your, really, thank you. That's about it.
Councilman Long.
I don't have anything.
Councilwoman Paget.
It's starting to get really hot, in case no one's noticed yet. If you all know some really old people that live alone, stop in once in a while and see if they're okay. Make sure they have a fan or some air conditioning or something. And I agree with Don Channel on this one. Looks like we're going to have to be wearing these beautiful masks a little bit longer, but wear them proudly. That's it.
Councilman Bothroyd.
Yeah, so, I want to first thank the council because you're right, Don, and you're right, Cheryl. You know, the more people that we see, we're seeing them without masks and we're wearing masks and it's hard for us to wear a mask. When you're not wearing a mask, I get that. And it's probably going to be needed to bend this curve, but there's some hard decisions made here that a lot of people out there don't really realize. I know that you've mentioned it before, Don, and some others in here have mentioned it. And there are. Just like there's some hard decisions that Tenny just made, and I give him kudos 100% because if he can pull off what he pulled off, might not be 140 grand he saves us, but it'll be better part of probably 100,000 if he can pull it off because he's got man hours involved in it. Just like Leroy, on everything that we're doing, give you a thumbs up 100%, just letting you know. I'm not so sure about you today, Billy. We're on the jury's still out on that. Just kidding. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say is I wanted to commend. I was talking about Billy over there. Yeah. But you can have it too, Bill, if you want it. Both bills. I thought you'd have done that for free, but whatever. I was a little disappointed in that 20 grand. But no, seriously, that's all I wanted to say is that I really commend this council and and not just full staff, but specifically, these two guys right now have been doing a bang-up job, so.
I had
There you
one
go.
more question with
Sure.
Padgett's comments.
Good.
Where's that old age? Is that like Leroy old age, or is that like the mayor old age that we're supposed to
Oh,
check?
just pick one.
The only reason I didn't qualify is because she said living by yourself, and last time I checked, I did have a roommate.
One is old and one is really old, and I'll let you decide that now.
All right.
Okay, Vice Mayor Case.
But not here.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Case.
Well, I want to second again what Cheryl and Dawn were talking about, and Brian piped in on, that everybody's been doing a real good job of looking out for each other in Guthrie, and we've managed to keep this thing at bay, so we're doing pretty good. So keep it up, keep up the good work. That's it.
Okay. First, congratulations to the American Legion Post 58. Last Sunday, they did a flag retirement ceremony for the city, and were able to properly dispose with respect a number of torn flags from the community, and so they did a great job with that. Also, I want to mention in our reopening of restaurants, we suspected there might be a few blips along the way, and Stacy's Place had a blip. They had to close. They totally cleaned. They're back in operation, I think, this week sometime. I don't remember exactly the date. Lots of people working to make things happen to get us back to whatever normal is going to be when this all ends. And as a number of stated, the coronavirus is going to be with us for a long time. Also want to mention there's a Unity Walk this Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock, but they're, I think, organizing at 9:30 up at the temple, and going to walk down Oklahoma, and just a recognition of unity in our community. All are invited. That Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, the walk will start. And with that, I guess we're adjourned. Thank you.